What if the most Italian thing in the world was actually invented in America? The global pizza industry is worth $280 billion a year, every single year. And the story behind it, the ancient Italian tradition, the Neapolitan heritage, the sacred recipes, is almost entirely a myth. Let's start with the most inconvenient truth in food history. There is no pizza without tomato sauce. And tomato sauce requires tomatoes. And tomatoes are a South American plant, born in the Andes Mountains of Peru and Ecuador. The Aztecs called it tomatal. Before Columbus sailed in 1492, there was not a single tomato in all of Europe. When Spanish explorers finally brought tomatoes back, Europeans thought they were poisonous. They believed tomatoes caused leprosy, madness, and death. The first Italian cookbook to even mention tomatoes wasn't published until 1692, and for most of the 1800s, the tomato was still being grown as an ornamental plant, not food. So the foundation of pizza didn't exist in Italy until America gave it to them. But it gets worse for Italy. In the 1830s, the inventor of the telegraph, Samuel Morse, visited Naples and described pizza as, quote, the most disgusting thing, covered in tomato slices and small fish, resembling a piece of bread pulled from a sewer. The author of Pinocchio, Carlo Collodi, called it a complex mosaic of greasy filth. Pizza was the food of Naples' absolute poorest, the street food of workers so desperate, foreign visitors thought it was repulsive. And here's the fact that changes everything. At the beginning of the 20th century, there was not a single pizzeria in Rome. Not one in Florence, not one in Venice, but there were pizza restaurants in New York, in Sao Paulo, in Buenos Aires. Pizza wasn't Italian. It was immigrant survival food, and America is where it was transformed. Gennaro Lombardi opened what is considered the first pizzeria in the United States, in Manhattan, in 1905. Italian immigrants who had been ashamed of their poverty food back home started selling it to hungry New Yorkers, and New Yorkers loved it. Then they made it their own. Pepperoni, the world's most popular pizza topping, doesn't exist in Italy. It was invented in Lower Manhattan in 1919. Italian immigrants combined their curing techniques with American smoked paprika and chili spices. Today, Americans consume 250 million pounds of pepperoni every single year. In 1939, just 120 years ago, the New York Herald Tribune had to explain to its readers what a pizza was and how to pronounce it. Then World War II happened. Hundreds of thousands of American soldiers fought through southern Italy between 1943 and 1945. They found pizza, and when they came home, they brought the craving with them. Between 1948 and 1956, oregano sales in the United States increased by more than 5,000%. But here's what those soldiers also found. Italy barely had any pizzerias. While New York had hundreds, Italy's own national dish was still a regional street food almost nobody outside Naples had ever eaten. Professor Alberto Grandi of the University of Parma, one of Italy's own food historians, put it bluntly. Many Italians had never even heard of pizza until the 1950s. Pizza turned red in America. His book caused a national scandal. Italy's deputy prime minister called him a hired intellectual assassin. A farmers' union called it a surreal attack on Italian culinary tradition. Even Mussolini's granddaughter got involved because the truth is uncomfortable. The pizza the world knows. The tomato sauce, the mozzarella, the oregano, the pepperoni, the cardboard delivery box, the plastic table saver in the middle, the frozen pizza, the 30-minute delivery guarantee. Every single one of these things was invented or perfected in America. Domino's Pizza started in Michigan in 1960 with one store. Today it operates in over 90 countries with more than 20,000 locations. Pizza Hut, Little Caesars. Together, American chains introduced the concept of pizza to countries that had never heard of it. And Italy itself. In per capita pizza consumption rankings, Italy sits in 5th place, behind Norway, behind the United States, behind Canada and Australia. The country that claims pizza as its greatest cultural export doesn't even eat it as much as Norwegians do. Sociologist Ajananda Bharati gave this phenomenon a name in 1970. He called it the pizza effect, the process by which a culture's element travels abroad, gets transformed, and is then re-exported back to the original country as something refined and elevated. Italy took a poor man's street food and exported it as a national treasure. But America is the country that transformed it, industrialized it, perfected it, and sold it back to the world. Alberto Grandi's conclusion is simple. What you find in Naples today is an American innovation. The strongest case has been made.